'Tis the season for shopping Santa and hand sanitizer. This year, your local shopping mall Santa probably packing a little bottle of the germ-killing gel in his bag, and with the swine flu potentially lurking everywhere, he is not alone. Hand sanitizer dispensers are everywhere. But are we becoming a nation addicted to this stuff, and what are the ramifications? Here's ABC's Yunji Denise.
Casey Beard is a self-proclaimed germ freak.
I used to wash my hands to the point where my knuckles were bloody every time. So they would get chafed all around my knuckles, bloody, and skin would kind of come off.
But he's found a solution in a bottle. Hand sanitizer, lots of it.
20 to 30 times a day, probably on the low end.
Beard has hand sanitizer throughout his house. He even has a special driving routine.
The second I get in my car, I have hand sanitizer in my car. So I like to do a squirt there and rub it on my steering wheel.
His methods may seem excessive, but it's hard to argue with his results. Now, do you ever get sick?
No, I haven't been sick in 3 years.
Sandra Turco is another avid sanitizer subscriber.
I have it on my kitchen counter, and I have one in my handbag, and I have one in my car.
In the wake of the H1N1 flu outbreak, her focus has shifted from her hands to her daughter's.
Put your stuff down and go wash your hands.
I remind her to, use it every time she goes out to recess or, when she gets off the bus, because you can just imagine all the germs on the back of the seat on the bus.
8-year-old Alessandra is well trained.
She said use it a lot, not too much. It's sort of a pain because Mommy always tells me to.
Hand sanitizers aren't just good hygiene, they're also great business. Sales are up 70% over last year, creating a cottage industry for clever entrepreneurs.
We're trying to change the way people sanitize.
Dewey Parsons and Mark Montopoli are the creators of Stay Safe.
Everything good?
Parsons had been in the beer business. Montopoli ran a seafood processing plant. When they launched the new company, they found they weren't the only ones looking to make $1 in hand hygiene.
The industry is so overwhelmed with people that want to get into the business that you couldn't get into the business.
They got in and got busy. They initially hoped to sell around 10,000 bottles, but just weeks later, sales have topped 40,000.
People are very aware that they need to sanitize and have good hand hygiene. So yes, H1N1, unfortunately, is good for our type of business.
While much of the economy may be lagging, this industry is clearly cleaning up.
A lot of people are paying more attention now to common sense hand hygiene practices. That's why products like hand sanitizers are so useful.
And so addictive. As long as H1N1 is around, Beard says he'll be sanitizing every half hour.
I know it's a little neurotic and definitely over the edge, but again, it's that peace of mind that I don't have to worry about nasty things crawling on my hands.
Germ and worry-free. For Good Morning America, Yunji Denise, ABC News, Washington.
And joining us now from Nashville to put some of this in perspective, Dr. William Schaffner, chairman of preventive medicine at Vanderbilt Med School. Doc, great to see you again. Good morning to you.
Hi, Bill. Hi, Bill.
There is an idea out there, a theory, that all this sort of ubiquitous sanitizing might be creating sort of superbugs, that germs are creating a resistance to Purell and these other brands and may come back to bite us stronger. Is there any truth to that idea?
No, fortunately, there's not, because the active ingredient in most of these hand sanitizers is alcohol, and the bugs can't get resistant to alcohol. The alcohol just kills them. So that's very nice.
Okay. And we saw the gentleman in the piece there uses it every half hour. Is too much? Is there such a thing as too much when it comes to this stuff?
Well, in general, I love this affection for hand sanitizers, this extensive use. Don't overdo it, of course. He may be right on the edge there. But frequent use clearly does protect us from infection.